Hi guys, and welcome back again to Queenette Adebisi VODCAST. My name is Queenette Adebisi, and today we are going to be talking about how to rebuild a broken trust in a relationship. If a trust is broken, how do we rebuild it? Well, we are going to be talking about all of that today. So if this is a topic that interests you, then please watch to the end of this video. Also, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to do so. All you have to do is just press on that subscription button below and the notification bell so you can always get notified anytime I post a video. This topic is a very sensitive topic and a high demand topic that a lot of people have been asking me, that especially men, oh, I've broken our trust, how do I rebuild the trust again? Well, we are going to be talking about all of that. First of all, we all know that trust is one of the most difficult things to build, and once a trust is broken, it is extremely now more difficult for you to rebuild the trust, because this time around you have to be willing to do the most ridiculous. You have to be willing to go extra miles to prove to that person that you've changed from the person you were when you broke that trust to, the person you were before you broke their trust, if that makes sense. And what do I mean by the most ridiculous? It means you'll be willing to do the things you are not even doing before to prove yourself, because this time around you are proving yourself. And we all know in a relationship, trust is one of the foundation of a relationship. A relationship where there is no trust, then it's never going to last at all, because trust is very, very important in a relationship. Number one, you have to be willing to retrace yourself. What is that thing you did in the first place to break that trust? Remember, this time around we are not talking about what prompts you to do that thing. There's always this thing I used to say, this saying that no matter how bad a situation may be, someone who is good will always find a reason to be good. And no matter how good the situation may be, someone who was bad will always find a reason to be bad, which means we have options here. We have, there are choices for us to choose our actions. And remember, the actions you choose, there's always a consequences for it. So if you are doing something good, there's a consequence for it, which is good. And if you're doing something bad, there's also a bad consequences for it. So we should all be responsible for our actions, be willing to take accountability. You who broke the trust, are you ready to take accountability? Which is the number one thing to do. You have to take accountability, full accountability for your actions. I know I broke your trust, and what I did actually caused pain. We should remember that the people who broke their trust have feelings, and it's going to take them time to heal. Some people it can take months, some people it can take years. You have to be extremely patient and be willing to wait till whenever they heal. There's no time frame to healing. So if you are that person that broke someone's trust and you're expecting them to have healed, they have begged now, have apologized, and yet they are still not healed, you cannot give a time frame to healing. Body varies. It's just like having an accident. Some people will heal quickly and some will not heal quickly. It depends. And it depends on your actions as well. The way you treat them, the way you prove yourself to them, that will determine if they'll heal. So secondly, you need to apologize. And when I mean by apologize, there are two types of apology. Are you apologizing because you were being caught in action, or are you apologizing because you genuinely feel bad for what you've done to them, for the pain you've caused them, and from your actions? So you need to apologize genuinely from your heart. You need to apologize because you know you have changed from that person you were when you broke them trust. Thirdly, you need to be willing to be more open. If you're open 50% before, this time around you need to be willing to be open 100%, which means it depends on whatever you broke their trust from, which means that you have to be, let me use this as an example, your mobile phone. If you are being caught in action of infidelity or whatever you did, but let me use infidelity as an example. If you're being caught in action of an infidelity, then you need, this time around you need to be extremely open, which means you're not going to be putting passcode on your phone. Why are you putting passcode on your phone if you are not hiding something? If you are putting passcode on your phone before and it's not an issue, then this time you've been caught. Remember, you've been caught in action. A trust has been broken. You want to rebuild that trust. That means you will need to, that's one of the most ridiculous. you need to be willing to, be vulnerable at this point, which is by taking the passcode of your phone. You need to be transparent. This time around, you need to be able to give accounts, details on every of your movements. Oh, I am going to work, I am stuck in traffic, I'm on my way home. You need to be able to give accounts of every of your movements than you used to do before, because this person now is trying to trust you again. And in order for them to be able to trust you again, you need to be extremely open. And number 3, you need to be patient. Yes, there is no time frame to when someone can heal. So patience is one of the things that can make that trust to be rebuilt again. Remember, trust is one of the most difficult things to build. It can take 2 years, it can take 3 years, it can take 4 years to build a trust. And when that trust is broken, it means it's going to take more years for that trust to be rebuilt, that trust that was broken to be rebuilt. So if it takes you 5 years, let's say you guys have been in a relationship for 10 years and you broke their trust after 10 years, that means you should be planning that it's going to take another 10 years. That's just an example, but let's be realistic here. It means it might take them another 10 years to rebuild that trust again, which means you must be willing to put in all the work. This is not an easy thing to do, but it is what it is. So it's left for you to decide if I'm willing to take all the steps to build that trust again for this person that I love, or if I want to walk away. Majority of the time, some people are not patient enough to wait till, that person heals and able to build that trust again. They assume that because I have apologized, then that the apology should solve the issue. But let us remember that as an individual, we cannot tell people how to react. People react differently. What is going to take me a month or two to heal from can take other people years. So you, as the person who broke their trust, must be willing to wait patiently for that person to heal and rebuild the trust again. So guys, that's going to be all for today, and please don't forget to subscribe. Yes, comment down below, like this video, share this video, and also follow all our social media platforms so you don't miss out on anything. And I hope to see you again next week. Bye.